So just get comfortable. Bring your mind to the same place your body is. Bring your attention down to the soles of your feet. Just feel your feet on the floor. If they're not under your legs, if you're sitting cross-legged, it's going to be different. And feel the weight of your hands in your lap and your sits bones in the chair. And align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light, stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just lengthening your spine, putting some space in between the vertebrae. Then go to the crown of the head. See if you can feel any sensation there. Just notice. It's really good to notice what's going on with the body, because sometimes there's sensations that are distracting, but we're not particularly aware of them. It's also the way they teach the Vipassana is, of course, when you're noticing all the different sensations in the body, you start to get an idea of what impermanence is, which is the point of that particular type of meditation. Anyway, I digress. So relax your scalp and your face and your the jaw, temples, and the ear, the back of the head, and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, and the belly, and all of your limbs. Notice the breath as you inhale and exhale. The sensations around the nostrils, around the chest, the chest cavity, the lungs, that whole area, and then your belly. And then check for distractions. Just notice what's potentially going to distract you in your environment. And then just allow that to be there. Try not to investigate with the mind. And just likely that is what's going to happen, but just notice when you're trying to develop some awareness around the moment your mind departs to go and check something out. And it might not even be as conscious as that. Oh, I'm just going to find out what that sound was. Your mind's already there. And then just check in with your mind this evening. Just see how you're doing. For some of you, it's morning or midday, afternoon. Just notice the thoughts as they float around your mind. Allow them to arise, just to come into existence, and then just allow them to dissolve. And then be aware of all the people of our life, our loved ones, our strangers, the ones we don't like, remembering they're all equal. No matter how you think about anyone at any particular time, your feelings about them may have changed, but they didn't. They just still want to be happy. They still want to be free from suffering. And they still have this unbelievable potential. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So, having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So, logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So, we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We purify ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this radiant, blissful white light. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. And his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for me and all those people for you, me, everyone, and all these people of our life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them because they're going to suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to this power remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam triyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa sabosidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sabosidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Then be delighted all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Om Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Om Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita, Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible that you're going to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of your mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment, anger, bitterness, grudges, neediness, depression, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be really delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others, with our body and our speech are completely purified, and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. So you imagine all the nectar flowing down, pushing out all the negativity of the body. And then the nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and blasts all of the delusions. And we're also reciting the mantra at this point. All of this is happening at the same time. And in this way, we completely eradicate all the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the consciousness. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami matsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame motsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, Vajrasattva dina patita, Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to enlightenment have been removed. And then we come to this power of resolve, and this is the fourth and the final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this, you're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. We'll just keep engaging with the same kind of habits, habit energies, as one of my teachers called it. So think of something you'd like to work on. You know, you've decided this is what you want to do. I want to refrain from harming, and you want to work on something. So something that might be a habit. Maybe you have some anger you need to pacify. So maybe before you open your mouth, make a determination not to speak until you've sorted it out in your head. And then think, Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So then we think Rinpoche would recommend meditate on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, even if you've just only heard the word, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think, well, the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So we'll dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then we'll do our chanting the names of Manjushri. Atop the peak of every going forth, most skilled in going forth in every way, established on all paths of going forth, the teacher of all forms of going forth, uprooting all becoming with 12 links, endowed with purity in all 12 forms, his form the way of fourfold noble truth, with realization of the eightfold knowledge, with the meaning of the truths in 12-fold form, aware of suchness in its 16 forms, with true awakening in 20 forms, awakened fully, knowing all supreme. All right, everyone, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of your own individual teachers. Long, happy, and healthy lives.